Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Journey Out podcast, where we were designed to be the helping hand for everyday people who are on their Exodus journey. My name is Bree, and I am one of your hosts.
And I'm Antoine.
And we are here today to kind of celebrate November. November is a month filled with important national holidays, in particular National Home Care Month, National Family Caregivers Month, and National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month. Today, we want to talk about home care, discussing the importance of home care and what it actually looks like having a caregiver come into your home. So let's jump in.
What is home care?
How do I navigate healthcare?
What do I do when I feel down and depressed?
I'm stressed.
Am I enough?
What can I do?
What is this going to cost?
All right, so what is non-medical home care? So non-medical home care refers to supportive services provided in a client's home to assist with daily activities that are not medical in nature. So to differentiate the two between medical and non-medical, medical care involves healthcare professionals like nurses or doctors who are providing treatment for illnesses or injuries, including administering medications, monitoring health conditions, and conducting medical procedures. Now, for non-medical care, that focuses on assistance with daily living activities rather than medical treatment. It's often provided by trained caregivers rather than licensed healthcare professionals. So can you talk to me a little bit about some of the examples of non-medical home care?
So non-medical home care has caregivers that come into the home, right, and assist with ADLs.
Right.
Those ADLs, which is activity of daily living or meal preparation, bathing, grooming, light housekeeping, transportation to and from doctor's appointments or for activities, and also companionship services.
Right. And with those services, we're there as support. Again, the goal is to maintain independence. So those caregivers are there to assist in those activities and make sure that they're doing it safely, but also that they have support for those activities.
And the caregivers are also there to be the eyes and ears for the family.
Right? Absolutely.
Like you say, fall risks and things like that can happen. So they're the caregivers there to give the family an update of how their loved ones are doing as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's like, why is non-medical home care important? Well, there are a few reasons why non-medical home care is important. The first one being enhanced quality of life.
Yes.
So it's important to understand that when clients want to stay in their home, and we know that 70 million plus Americans have already decided, hey, I'm going to age in place. I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to receive all of my care at home. I don't want to leave my home. So if they're saying that and they want to stay in their home, we're here to provide enhanced quality of life. So we have caregivers who are going to engage them in daily activities, maybe hobbies. There's going to be some social interactions there, and they really contribute to helping fulfill their life, making sure that they're doing, everything that they need on a day-to-day basis.
And that could be also like helping them with exercising, right?
Right.
That can also be, hey, let's have a movie. Let's go to the movies, taking them to the movies, taking them to the park.
Right.
Just doing things to make their life be more fulfilled, right? Not only just keeping them at home, but being active in their community as well.
Right. And then I would say the second reason why it's super important is it promotes independence.
Yes.
There's stigma around having a caregiver come in and help. One of the main things that we hear is, well, I don't need a caregiver because, mom and dad is going to lose all of their independence, or I'm not going to be able to cook my meals on my own or do those things. And that's totally not what home care is.
Well, it's the home care and having a caregiver in the home, like I say, it's the eyes and ears for the family, right? But it's to help them keep their independence.
Right.
So assisting them with maybe putting their clothes on, right? Doing their meals for them. It's not to take away their independence. It's just to help them in things that they need assistance with. Right. So they can be in their home longer.
Right.
Because if that caregiver is not there, and just say your loved one have a history of falls, that caregiver is there to help prevent those falls.
Right.
So if a fall occur and the caregiver is not in the home, then guess what? That take away more independence from your loved one than having a caregiver there. Right.
And we're going to talk about this more about what home care really truly looks like. But when a caregiver is coming into the home, it's important that we assess what they actually need assistance with, right? Because if home care is to, maintain autonomy, maintain that client's autonomy, then that means if they're comfortable with preparing their meals, they can still do all that. Really, the issue a son or daughter has been seeing is mom cannot maintain her medications in this pill jar. She's taking a bunch of pills at different times. She can't seem to do that. Well, then that's where the caregiver is going to come in and help.
Medication reminders.
The caregiver is going to come in and make sure, okay, let's make sure she takes the right medication at this time. Let's make sure this pill container is filled like it's supposed to, according to that medication list. And then she can make her own meals. We won't even add that to the care plan. We can just watch her, make sure she does that safely, supervise that, but help where the need is.
So you added the care plan into this. So tell them a little bit more about the care plan and what you were saying about, hey, we won't help assist with meals, but we want to make sure she take her medication.
Right. So when you have typically, it could be an agency, it could be a personal caregiver. We'll just talk from agency standpoint since we have an agency, we know about the agency's point of view. When you have an agency coming in to assist your loved one with activities of daily living, what they should be doing is coming in and providing you with a care plan, a plan where you and the agency discuss what is needed for your loved one. If your loved one is cognitive enough to be able to assist in that conversation, please have their input in that conversation because we want to make sure that we're giving them what they desire when they're in that home. So a care plan looks like things from personal care to housekeeping to transportation, whether it's medication reminders, different things, right? At that point on that care plan, you're discussing, can mom handle personal care on her own? Can she handle housekeeping on her own? Can she handle oral hygiene on her own?
Or do she need assistance
with those?
This? Also, with that personal care plan, what we also like to look into is what was their hobbies? What do they like to do? You know what I'm saying? Do they like to go to the garden and plant flowers or water their flowers or something like that? Do they like to look at pictures? Hey, do they like to watch Family Feud?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What do they like to watch old Western movies? We want to know about your family as much as possible, right? So we can make sure that they're getting the proper care that they deserve.
Exactly. And so that leads us to the third reason why home care is important, companionship. I mean, that's a critical role. Social interaction is a critical role for caregivers, and it's also something that a lot of clients and their families lack, which is that social interaction. And typically, if they live in the home by themselves, where are they going to get that interaction from? So usual, like the hobbies we talked about, going to the senior center, or maybe they like to go play golf with their friends, or wherever that might be. Well, what happens when they draw back from doing those things?
That don't mean that they still want that, right? But maybe it comes in a different form, right? And that caregiver being in that home can provide that, probably not at the level that they were at, but at the level that they are now. Right,
absolutely. I think the one that sums it up, that just sums up the importance of why having non-medical home care is important, is reducing caregiver burnout.
Oh, yes.
I think, many families have that challenge, providing care on an emotional and physical level, but also still dealing with their own families, having a career, exactly, and still trying to be there for everybody. It's just super important that you're able to take breaks, recharge, and then tend to your own needs as well. I have some statistics that I kind of want to go over a little bit. It says 70% of family caregivers report feelings of depression. Family caregivers are 20% more likely to have high blood pressure, 50% more likely to suffer daily physical pain, 30% say they do not have regular companionship, 25% of older adults feel isolated, and 1 in 7 caregivers have heart disease and or stroke.
And you talking about the caregiver that's taking care of their family member.
Exactly.
Right. So that son or daughter that's taking care of their mother or their
spouse
father.
Or grandchild.
So that is a heartbreaking statistics that you just went over there. But that just shows the need of home care. Right. That shows the need that, hey, that family member need respite. Right? They need some time to themselves to recharge and get back to their family, right? While they love their loved one, while they have no problem with taking care of their mother or their father, right? It still take a toll on them, right? You know, and especially with dealing, just so you say, hey, the person that raised me,
right?
is no longer, and the person that I depended on is not the person that they are today, back then. Does that make sense? So the mother that I knew or the father that I knew has changed dramatically to where they depended on me.
Right.
You know? And so in taking care of your loved one, I know you have no problem in doing that, but it's important to recognize that it does take a toll, knowingly or unknowingly.
Right.
And with those statistics, man, that's wild.
I mean, and we don't think about it like that. You know, another statistic that was not talked about was that family caregivers provide 20 plus hours a week of care.
Wow.
So say, for instance, me, I'm taking care of you.
Right.
And so not only...
You ready to take care of me?
I am ready to take care of you. You know, we've been doing this. We've been doing this for a while. Literally, our ducks are in a row, okay?
Okay.
We ready.
Okay.
So if I'm taking care of you, right, I'm going...
Okay, so what would my care plan be?
Oh, you know what? So how I envision you in the future. Okay.
I know we sidetracked, but go ahead.
No, this is fine. Okay, how I envision you in the future. So one thing about my father here, y'all.
Oh, Lord.
He does not play when it comes to like grooming. He wants to be clean. He wants to be fresh. I see showers not being difficult for him in the future. Mm-hmm. I see him wanting to do that, so we will make sure we're assisting there with showers. Definitely helping get him dressed. I think he might need a little assistance there, but making sure it matches. You know, he's creased up. You know, he looks good from head to toe. Jordan's shoes. You know, we be tight right. He loves to eat, so meal preparation would definitely be a part of his care plan, and it can't be anything healthy, okay? Because he's going to throw that away. He's not going to eat that. So something that he's used to. You know, am I in alignment?
Okay, you there. Okay, I give you something. Now,
cool.
Now
all right.
continue.
So now I'm taking care of you, and I know all those things, right? I'm providing 20 plus hour care for you according to the statistics each week. Mm-hmm. But I also work a 40-hour work week. I have a husband and I have kids that when I come home, they are dependent on me too.
Yes.
But also, you're dependent on me, and my mom is like, Bree, I need some assistance with Dad. You know, he's not X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. So when you put all of that together, we're looking at what a lot of people call stress.
Yes.
And you're being pulled at every angle. And so having somebody comes in relieves that stress from you. So you can focus on husband and kids, have a caregiver come in and provide that support for your loved one, and then you can still oversee that support. You can still be there for mom and dad. You can still come in and check on mom and dad, but there's someone to help you do the heavy lifting.
How many hours you say they doing? 20 hours?
About 20 hours per week.
You can get 20 hours back of your life. That's Monday through Friday. If you divided 4 hours out of a day, Monday through Friday, you know 20 hours out of a week that your loved one is getting taken care of. Right? And that gives you 20 hours to concentrate on your family, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's caregiver burnout is real, and having a caregiver come to your home is a big way to stop and help that out.
Absolutely. I know a big question probably is now, all right, home care, it's important. I understand that. Mm-hmm. When should I start looking into non-medical home care? What is the telltale sign, the big red flag that indicates I need that?
Well, some people think when mom or dad cannot do nothing for themselves,
right,
when they're bedbound, that's too late. Mm-hmm. You want to kind of stop it before it gets to that point.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. So maybe you probably notice mom and dad forgetting their keys a lot. Maybe you probably notice, hey, I done came to visit mom or dad and the oven is still on. And they sitting down watching TV. Maybe mom or dad has driven to the store over the years, the same route, countless of times, but you're getting phone calls that, hey, they don't know where they at, or they forgot how to get to the store, or something like that. Also, maybe if a fall occurred or something like that, all these are telltale signs, and it's more of them.
Right.
That, hey, maybe we should get somebody in here to assist with my loved one.
Right. And then again, it kind of what we were talking about earlier, it doesn't have to be they need assistance with everything in order to start home care, because that's just not the case. Right. Another telltale sign could be social isolation. Yes. If they decide like, hey, they're always going to the church on Wednesday nights and Sundays, and they're always doing this, they're very involved in their church, and then all of a sudden they stop. And then now they're not going.
Yeah, one Wednesday go by, Mom, Dad, you
Did you
going to
go?
church? No,
No.
I'm not going. Next Wednesday,
Yeah.
Now you start seeing that pattern. Okay, what's going on?
There's something happening there. So now it's to sit down, okay, Mom, Dad, what's going on with this? I noticed you haven't gone to church. Well, we don't want to just let that fester because, again, like you were talking about, early prevention is important.
Right.
You don't want that to fester. What you want to do is go ahead and see the problem, which, hey, they living at home by themselves. They're not doing anything or getting back out into their community. Right. I don't want them to feel isolated. I don't want them to feel depressed. Maybe I should get someone to come in and to assist with companionship, talking, engaging them in some activities, maybe getting them to go back to the church by using the transportation service and taking them to the church, being with them for a little bit and coming back home.
And you also, if you have that gut feeling that something is wrong, right? I think that's when, hey, just take for example of missing church. Okay, hey, let me go to church with you this Wednesday. Let me go to church with you this Sunday, so you can see what's going on. Hey, I'll be there an hour or two early. We're gonna get dressed at your house, so you can kind of see the vibe, for lack of better words, that's going on in the house with your loved one.
Right. And where you mentioned falls, right?
Yes.
One thing that's super important, and I want families to hear me and hear me closely. Sons, daughters, hear me closely. It only takes one time. One time. On two different stances. One time to fall and it be serious, but also it should only take one time for them to fall and you see trouble, right? It should take one fall to be like, hey, you fell. And I know that's kind of out of the norm, but I don't want you to do that again. Let me get somebody in here to help and make sure that you stay safe. Because when someone falls, the likelihood, another statistic, and I'm hitting them with you this episode.
Yeah, go ahead.
You are likely to fall again in the next 6 months. But guess what? We cannot determine how fatal that fall will be. Yes. We don't know if it's a broken hip. We don't know if they'll be just fine. Maybe it's just a little bump on the head or whatever it may be. But we rather not get to that point. We rather say, hey, Mom and Dad just fell. Let me get a couple hours in here with the caregiver just so they can monitor them around the time that they fell, during the activity that they were doing when they fell. Right. So that way we can try to minimize this or prevent something greater from happening in the future.
Because once you fall, you will, God forbid, but you're going to fall again. Falls occur. So now you're a fall risk.
A fall risk, right. And falls are one of the leading causes of death among older adults. And so we don't want them to be a part of that statistic. Right. We want to stop it before it becomes an issue. And so just early prevention is super key to make sure that we are monitoring their health and prevent further decline in their health.
So when you go through these signs or you see something or you're worried about something or your gut give you that feeling or a fall occur or something is not right around the house with Mom or Dad, that's the time where you need to set aside some time to say, hey, let me spend some time with them. Let me try to be more there, present to see what's going on. So you can see for yourself and you can learn those telltale signs and you can say, hey, this is when I need to seek home care.
Yep. And again, remember, home care does not have to be all-encompassing at the total care right off the bat. No, pick a little thing. Hey, Mom just needs help with this. Can you just help me with this? And then progress from there. Right. How does home care work? So I mentioned earlier, the first thing, if you're hiring an agency to come into the home and to provide that level of support, the first thing they're going to do is set up what we call a consultation. They're going to set up that consultation. Some are free. Some are, there's like a little deposit you have to put down for it. It's just depending on the agency. But they're going to come and they're going to do a consultation with you. At that point, they should be figuring out your loved one's medical history. They should be doing what we call a care plan, figuring out what needs they actually need help with. So they should be assessing if it's physical support that's needed. Maybe it's just emotional support that's needed. Yes. Maybe it's just social support that's needed. Or maybe it's all three. And, they would tailor or provide a custom plan, personalized care plan for your loved one. Once that's completed, the next step is getting the caregiver in there. Now, when you're dealing with the agency, and I suggest this for all families who are looking into non-medical home care, please say, hey, this is going to be an intimate thing, bringing a caregiver into the home.
Right.
Can we meet that caregiver first? What is the caregiver's background? Those different things. It's okay to ask that and to, talk with your agency about those questions. Because
research your agency.
Research your agency. Ask those different questions. Make sure your agency is licensed throughout the state of Texas to provide their services. Make sure they are checking references and background checks and all the different things that's needed to make sure that the person coming into your home is capable of doing so and they're, they're safe. But ask, hey, can we meet that caregiver and see if it's a good match, a good fit. Now, just being honest, the caregiver has to learn your loved one and vice versa. Your loved one has to learn the caregiver. So it will take some time, a week or so, for them to kind of mesh, get a routine down that fits well for them. But what you're assessing is personality to personality. Does that match? Are they kind of one? Do they like the same things? Even if they don't like the same things, can she or he relate to what my loved one likes? Your loved one likes gardening. Do you know anything about gardening?
He probably won't know anything about gardening, but he's willing to
learn and
be
help.
there with your loved one in the time to help them with that.
Exactly. So that's kind of what that consultation looks like. Also, getting a good time frame, the days and the times that you would want a caregiver to come out, and kind of moving from there on the routine that usually the caregiver and your loved one will kind of come up with as they go day to day. Like, hey, I don't really want to wake up that early. Right. So let's wake up around this time, get breakfast started around this time, and they can kind of come up with that routine.
Right. So you have the care plan, and then as the caregiver comes in, they going by their care plan, but they also getting to know your loved one, and they developing a routine, right?
Right.
So maybe you probably say, hey, I think mom or dad should get up a little earlier. Okay, they usually get up at 9, but you want them to get up at 8. Okay, as that caregiver get to know your loved one, that will be implemented. So your wishes are met, and if it's best for your loved one to do so, we will make sure that's done.
Right. And then from there, after the caregiver is in place, you've been through all the things that need to be done. Ever so often, the agency should be coming back in to do regular updates and regular checks. So, because the care plan is not going to stay the same.
Right.
No matter what we think, your mom is not going to be the same mom 6 months from now, especially if they're dealing with a diagnosis that is progressive. Right. Alzheimer's or dementia, something like that. They're not going to be the same person. So being able to have regular updates and checking, adjusting that care plan as needed, because on day 1, she probably didn't need to use the walker, but on day 60, she is super unsteady on her feet, and the walker is best to prevent falls.
Yes.
And so that's kind of what you're monitoring. The caregivers should be monitoring that. The agency should be aware of everything that's going on inside the home as well. And
also in some cases, hey, she need to use the walker when we first started, but hey, he or she is getting better to where they don't need the walker.
It can go both ways.
It can go both ways, yeah.
With everything we discussed today, cost is always going to play a factor in all of this.
Yes.
And so from Genworth, the national average for home care is going to cost around $33 per hour. Now, the thing about home care is currently, as of now, personal insurance is not covering home care.
Right.
There are some Medicare Advantage plans out there that are picking it up. But they give you a certain amount of hours per week that they will cover, right? So currently, the only methods of payment right now that is going to pay for no medical home care is going to be out-of-pocket costs. There are long-term care insurance policies like with the Genworth or a MetLife or something like that you've been paying on over time that will reimburse you back for any monies that you spend on non-medical home care. And then lastly, it's going to be the Veterans Administration. So if you're a veteran, you can get home care absolutely for free. You are to talk to your doctor at the VA, and they will be able to get you connected to a program that they have that allows a caregiver to come into your home for a certain amount of hours per week as well, and assist you with those activities of daily living.
Doctor or
social worker, case manager.
Yes.
You can talk to any of them at the VA. Yes. I know there are some new things coming out for the VA, so we're super excited about that. So as that progresses, we'll be sure to definitely let you know about some of the new things that's coming out from the VA, dealing with their TRICARE insurance. But if you're a spouse of a veteran, you can get money monthly funds to help you pay for non-medical home care or any care that's needed, from assisted living to nursing home, whatever that might be. And that's through the aid and attendance program at the local VA. So the same thing, you would talk to them and say, hey, I need some assistance with getting aid and attendance, and they'll be able to kind of help walk you through that process. But you can get funds to help pay for your spouse of a veteran.
Private pay is really the big thing that people pay for home care.
Right.
And I just want you to know, yes, it's cost. The cost is going to go up on everything. The cost of living, everything is going to go up. But having your loved one at home safe is priceless, okay?
Right.
So make sure, as you do your research on the agencies, as you try to see, hey, what type of care mom need, just know the value of their life at this point is greater than the cost of the care.
Right.
Did that make
Absolutely.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think, and to touch on that too, especially if this is what they desire.
Yes.
If they desire to be at home, especially like for you, like if you desire to stay at home as you get older and I'm taking care of you, I'm going to try everything in my power to make sure that happens. And I understand costs, I understand all of those things, but I'm going to try my very best to make sure that you get what you want.
Now, but let's go back on that. Now, I know you'll take care of me. As a parent, let's go back to health literacy, what we talked about. You want to set your child up or your family up to say, hey, when this time comes, this stuff is in place, right, to take care of me, right? Because, again, my daughters, my son, they'll have families. My son has a family. This beautiful young lady, she'll have a family one day, right? And dealing with her pops or her mom around the clock can be hard for her. And I don't want that to be all on her plate.
Right.
So it's important that I, right now, start setting it up for her to make it easier for her, just in case, God forbid, I'm not in the right state of mind to take care of myself or to articulate what the needs I want. I need to do that right now so it can help my loved one, my daughter, take care of me at that time if needed.
And say, for instance, too, with that, you're looking at your mom and she's 90 years old and she can't do anything right now to help. It doesn't stop there, because you now know these things. You now have these resources. You now have this information to go back and change the outcome and the trajectory of your life for your kids and your kids' lives. You can be that change. Again, it's a cycle that kind of keeps happening. If my dad didn't know something, 9 times out of 10, I didn't get taught it because he didn't know it to teach it. But now you know it. So now you know it, you can go and teach it to your loved ones. And then you can put a plan in place for yourself to better help your children in the future when it comes time when you're 90 and you need that assistance.
So with the cost, yes, costs going to go up, but the way to pay for home care is you have long-term care insurance, private pay that's out of pocket, and or the VA. If you're a veteran, you can get this help free.
Absolutely. So we have discussed a lot today, but we want to make sure that you have some key takeaways when you finish this episode today. So, number 1, non-medical home care focuses on assistance with daily living activities rather than medical treatment. It's often provided by trained caregivers rather than licensed healthcare professionals. The second thing we want you to take away is that the benefits of non-medical home care is enhanced quality of life, independence, safety at home, provides emotional and psychological support for family caregivers, and it also reduces family caregiver burnout. And the third thing we want you to know is that early implementation of non-medical home care is crucial to making sure that your loved one's quality of life and autonomy remains, and that hopefully having a caregiver present can prevent minor issues from escalating into major health problems. Now, to gather all of what we talked about today, please click the link in our bio taking you over to our podcast website to be able to download everything we discussed today, transcribed just for you under the transcript tab. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today and would like to hear more, please subscribe and follow us on YouTube at The Journey Out. And on our podcast website, you can support The Journey Out podcast with a monthly donation of your choosing, helping us to continue to provide these episodes every week, as well as follow us on all podcast platforms. And with that, that's a wrap on today's episode of The Journey Out. We pray that the things discussed today have been a helping hand for you and the ones you hold close, positively bringing you out of one season to the next, starting your Exodus journey.
And I hope this information was valuable and that you use this information to become a resource to your family and your community.
Yes. Bye, you guys.